You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Total Wellness Tuesday, we're coming off a show yesterday on a Mindset and Motivation Monday, where I kind of took you through the advice I had to give myself many years ago to overcome really all odds. I was told many years ago that there was nothing the top specialists in the world could literally do for me. They had no idea what I had. It was called a mystery illness, and I would just have to either get more sick so that it would show up on my blood work what was wrong with me, or I was just destined to live like this in life. I kind of share that struggle with you, but I also share the message of hope, because I can tell you right now that 20 years later, I am healthier, I am happier, and I am stronger than I ever have at any point in my life, and that should not happen. You should not start to get stronger, right, as you get older, but that's not the case. And I tell you, you can. And I tried to share that message with you yesterday. Again, it was more of like a therapeutic talk it out session with myself, but I do hope you enjoyed that show as well. Today, I want to give you the reason that most people don't get well. And I'll tell you, and this came about really out of my appointments in today's practice. So I saw a lot of people today, and one of the things that really came up more than once, and so whenever anything comes up more than once, I take that as a mission, as something that I need to do to then share that with others, because it's a blockage, right? And today's blockage was this, is that a lot of people are getting into natural health, natural medicine, and they're starting to say, I need to change the way I eat. I need to change the way I use nutritional supplements. I can't be using the stuff that I buy at Target or Costco or Walgreens. Like, that's not good stuff. I need to start seeing a natural health practitioner. So, and that is beautiful. I mean, that's exactly what I want for the world, is that everyone should have the ability to get acute-based medicine when that care is needed. And that means that if you're ever having, God forbid, a heart attack, a stroke, or you have a staph infection or any of those things, then go to the emergency room, go to your PCP, get the acute care that you need. But for everything else, you really have to stay focused on what is the root cause. What are the underlying imbalances that are keeping you from not being well, but not being well from literally optimizing your life. So being happier, being healthier, and being at your peak, your optimal weight. All of those things are important. And I see more and more people who are athletes, who are, just all sorts of people in general, just saying, I want to live longer. I want to be healthier. And just as an example, like today I saw an 87-year-old man who's looking for anti-aging, like literally wants to live to be 100, wants to just feel like more energy, more vitality, less brain fog, all of those things. Amazing. I saw a CrossFit athlete today. I did a Skype consultation with a celebrity that you most likely know out in LA. So it's like it runs the gambit, but that's what this is all about, is that we are all literally humans. We have the same physiology, but the interesting thing is this, is that our physiology, our genetics expresses itself in a little different way. So we start to use this thing called bioindividuality. And that leads me into today's topic. Today's topic is that we have to be very careful now that as we're starting to use natural health as a means to getting well, that we do not use something called green medicine. Green medicine is the philosophy, the thought, the kind of pseudo practice of functional medicine by looking at a person's symptoms or ailments and then prescribing a certain supplement for that, okay? Now, you would think that, I should be all for that because I use nutritional supplements, I do all that. It's not the truth. That's not the truth. Supplements are one part of my protocol. Literally, that's it. So I have, essentially, it's a 7 to 8 part protocol, right? And supplements are only one part to that. I can go over that another time, and I will. That's not today's show. Today's show is making sure that if you have inflammation, that you are not reaching for turmeric. If you have high cholesterol, that you are not just reaching for niacin or red yeast rice. That if you have high blood pressure, you are not just reaching for L-arginine right? If you have depression, that you're not just reaching for 5-HTP. Why would I say that when all of these things have been proven to work for inflammation, for high cholesterol, for high blood pressure, for depression? The reason I say that is this, is that when you use the nutritional supplements that I just named, without working on the underlying root causes, you are simply still treating the symptom, right? Turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory. It works on COX-6 basically inhibitors. You're working on enzymes within the body that can squelch pain. They can be natural anti-inflammatories, a lot like Advil or ibuprofen. When you're using red yeast rice, you can use it kind of like a statin, right? If you're using L-arginine, it can be used as a vasodilator for blood pressure. If you are using 5-HTP, that can produce more serotonin. It can be good for depression. All of those things are beneficial, are they not? They are, right? And they've all been clinically shown to work for those ailments that I just mentioned. So that's great. And they teach this now in naturopathic medical school, but I'm worried about that because what's not being taught are the old school naturopathic remedies. So like the old school naturopath called natural hygienists understood that it goes so much deeper than using herbs or nutritional supplements because they had nutritional supplements. They didn't have the same high quality vitamins that we might have or neurotransmitters. And in Ayurvedic medicine and in traditional Chinese medicine, in Taoist medicine, in Greek and Egyptian and Roman, all of these things they understood the different doshas or the different parts of the body and how they become imbalanced. And that is the true underlying root cause that we need to fix. So while I'm saying that, it's not bad to use the 5-HTP, the red yeast rice, the L-arginine, all of those specific things, right? None of those things are bad, and I actually use them myself in my practice. But at the same time, I would never say, this is it, here, take that. Because you know why? Because it's just like using vitamins as a drug, right? Because instead of using a drug, now don't get me wrong, it's so much safer to be using the natural alternatives, so much safer. So don't get me wrong on that front. But if the person ever came off the red yeast rice, if they ever came off the L-arginine, if they ever came off any of these things, then their symptoms would come right back, right? So what we're doing is we're using the nutritional supplements now to mask the symptoms rather than drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, to mask the symptoms. So what have we really done? We've replaced a supplement for a drug. And again, infinitely better. Please do that. I have no problem with that whatsoever on your path to then fixing those underlying root causes. So when someone comes into my practice, I sit down with them and I say, this is what we're going to do. Your whole plan is somewhere between, let's say, 4 to 6 months, right? And then we're going to wean you off pretty much everything except a maintenance plan to keep you healthy, strong, happy, loving life. You know, that's basically it, right? So what do we have to do though? We have to work on the deeper underlying root cause things that takes weeks and months to repair. Anyone who tells you differently is incorrect because you literally do not turn over new red blood cells for 120 days. So if you believe you can somehow regenerate your body within a week, it's just not going to happen. But how can I help people stop the suffering within 21 days and then repair their body over that next, let's say 12 weeks to 3 months, 4 months to 6 months, depending on what type of issue it is. It's that we can use those things that I just mentioned to you while at the same time rebalancing the underlying root causes, right? So now we have the best of the both worlds, right? We can start to use things like GABA or 5-HTP or all of those things for the depression, for the anxiety. We can use the magnesium. We can use all of those amazing things, right? But at the same time, we say, well, why wouldn't you producing your own B vitamins? Why wouldn't for stress? Why wouldn't you be producing your own serotonin? And the reason is 90% of all serotonin is made in the gut. What if your gut's not functioning properly? How can it make proper amounts of serotonin? Or if your HPA axis, your adrenal glands, your high levels of stress are burning up your levels of GABA, right? Because GABA is one of those things that helps knock down high levels of adrenaline or norepinephrine, right? And if that's not working well, your gut's not going to be working well, and you're going to use up more of that serotonin as well. So now we're starting to look, we're starting to go back. We're saying, okay, these are some of the reasons why you got here in the first place. So unless we ever correct those, there is no hope of ever getting better and coming off nutritional supplements eventually, right? So I'm not saying that you can't take nutritional supplements for the rest of your life. What I'm saying is that you most likely don't need to, right? So I believe that everyone should take a good quality functional medicine multivitamin or an all-in-one powder. So we use the daily nutritional support or the activated multivitamin. Bottom line, that gives you your fail-safe. I can guarantee you, and I will bet I'm not even a betting man, but I will bet money that, because I have not seen it yet in practice, and I run probably more mineral analysis than I would say anyone. I'm up there without a doubt because we run so many, is that no one is perfect. There's no one that's perfect. It's just the way it is. Same with vitamins, without a doubt. So using a good functional medicine, not the stuff, you don't buy vitamins where you buy your toilet paper. That's just the bottom line. So you're going to get it at a good place. You're going to get it at your naturopaths, or you're going to get it, we have it right at our store, good quality, the same ones I use in my practice. And it's like $1 a day. So it's not that expensive investment. Then you can use a greens powder. We use the organic, it's called Daily Fruit and Vegetable Blend. It's 22 greens, fruits and vegetables. And you can maybe use a probiotic. I mean, that's what I call the maintenance plan. That's for good overall healthy living, to be able to combat all the 77,000 plus man-made toxins in the environment. Now, could some people use a little bit more turmeric because they're working out hard, or a B vitamin? Could some people use more glutamine? Yeah, all of these things are absolutely worthwhile. And I do not want to talk you out of using nutritional supplements, because believe me, they saved my life. There's no doubt about that. When your body becomes so weak like mine was, and your digestion is so weak, you can't just say, oh, just eat better food, just use food as medicine. You can't, because your body's so weak, it cannot extract all the vitamins and nutrients from your good food. So that's just the bottom line. Unless you're blending all of your meals, unless you're eating baby food, unless you're only doing juicing, there's just no way you're extracting all those nutrition. You're not. So what you do is you just try to get that in through good quality nutritional supplements. So I'm not taking you out of that. What I do want to say is, when you meet with a functional medicine doctor, when you meet with a naturopath, when you're reading protocols, when you're looking at all these things, now you can tell for yourself, is this person treating an underlying imbalance, or are they just substituting nutritional vitamins or nutritional supplements for drugs instead? I'm telling you, once you know this, that's what this show is all about. It's all about educating you, because I know that I'm not going to be able to work with every person in the world through Skype consultations, through in-office, whatever it is. It's not feasible, right? The numbers don't add up. I don't have that many hours in a day, and it's just not possible. But what I want to say is this, is that I can educate you, that I can pass on what I've been just, blessed to learn, and that you can start to see that for yourself. Because I'll tell you this, I was in the same place. The only way I know any of this is because I failed so many times. It was painful, very, very painful. So what I realized, that I was using supplements. A lot of people, the alternative medicine practitioners that I was seeing, they were using supplements as medicine for me. And you know what? And I'm grateful for that, because they did a great job. They really did. They did the best to their knowledge. And I'll tell you what, it gave my body a little bit of vitality, and it started to move me forward. But even though I was feeling better, I still said, you know what? I know that there's more than this, because I had to use all these supplements to kind of keep me vital, right? And I said, I need my own body to be producing this. So that is when I started to go deeper. That is when I started to learn more about detoxification. It's when I started to learn more about the endocrine system and how it affects the immune system and the neurology of the body and how everything is interconnected, right? So the problem is that what we do is we start to take this for the adrenals, this for the thyroid, this for the gut, this for migraines, this for psoriasis, this for we just kind of like cherry pick, and it's not how it works. You need one plan that looks at the body as a whole, but then takes into consideration the thing that you're suffering with for right now, right? So we start to look at the body as a whole. Once we can see that, we can say, okay, this is where you're at right now. This is how you got here. This is how we're going to rebuild over the next 12 to 16 weeks, which is typically what it takes. But right away, within 3 weeks, I fully expect anyone with rheumatoid arthritis to get rid of that pain. I fully expect people with psoriasis, eczema to start to see the reduction in that rash on their body. People with migraines, I fully expect to be that taken way down, at least dramatically in half, if not gotten rid of. And it goes like that for everything, because what happens is this: the nutritional supplements that you need, the ones that we say that substitute instead of drugs, those are the ones that fortify the body at essentially a blood level. So they give your body what it's missing. They give it that dose that it's missing. And then over the period of days and weeks and then months, the body starts to regenerate and rebuild new cells. And those new cells rebuild stronger, right? There's so many metaphors laid in here. If you listen to yesterday's show, it's basically like I'm saying, it's just little step, one step after the other, one step after the other. You just keep moving in the direction of your goals, understanding that you are on a plan that works on those underlying imbalances. Once you understand that you're not just going to use green medicine, I'm telling you, that is is the way that you truly get well. There is no other alternative, right? There is no other alternative. That is it. It's the only way to get well again. And hopefully today's message, I got that through to you. So really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you as always. I mean, every single listen, it really makes me happy. I look at how we've grown really over the past year because we just started this 12 months ago. And I'm telling you, it's if not my favorite thing, one of my favorite things to do is record this podcast for you. And so if you feel that there is one of these podcasts that may be helpful to someone else, please do feel free to pass it along to them. Take care, everyone.
Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.